to Hideaway Homestead. I'm so glad that you are here today to watch our video. We've been thinking about wisdom that we heard from many other established, mature homesteaders, where they talk about not making permanent fixtures to your property until you've seen it through a couple of seasons. And for the most part, we took that into account when we built our house out at the homestead and for other things that we've put out there. There were a few errors in the beginning. There was one time where we had, wow, I don't know if it was like 100-year flood or what, that really flooded some areas where we had put a bunch of fruit trees and other plantings, and we lost all of those with that extra water. So now we know not to plant in that area, and those kinds of things you need to look out for. Where does the water drain, and what is a good place to put buildings that will be safe from winds or other things, you know. So anyway, for the most part, I think we have been wise in where we put structures. We thought ahead for where we put sheds and those kinds of things, that they would have accessibility and or be out of the way, or that they would be put in a lovely place like I think our barn is. We see the barn when we come in through the front door, and I like that look. It makes us smile. Kevin's smiling just thinking about it, recording this. We like that location a lot. Our other little brown shed is just nestled in among some trees, and that looks good to us and has served us well in its location. But those were placed after we had been on the property for a while, so we knew how things were going to go and how things would work. Most of those have been good decisions, and we're pleased with how they've turned out. One thing that we are moving now is our pig pen area. Several years ago, we raised large pigs, and we had them in this one area. We built their pen out of hog panels and maybe a cattle panel or two. Can't remember if that's how we started out, but we learned quickly that piglets can get under hog panels, but they can't get out, cattle panels, but they can't get out through the smaller holes in a hog panel. So we did change to hog panels, but those were put up with T-posts. And I am a big fan of portable, movable animal fencing. We've used a lot of the netting, the electric netting, and that is great because you can move around and move them to a different area to get fresh grass or something like that. We like our chicken tractors because they can move to fresh grass or to a better area. We like those kinds of things. So our latest project has been to take down the hog panels and the T-posts from what was the pig pen, and that has opened up a large area to us, made it accessible. The area behind them is now accessible. We've mowed it and it's looking really good, and now we're trying to think, what can we use this for that would be of benefit to the farm, or that would just be a pleasant place to look at. So come along with us, help us mentally maybe to get up these T-posts, move the hog panels, and open up this area. Perhaps if you are still in the planning stages of your property and your management, you might want to think these things through and make use of something that is portable before you put a big investment of your time and money into something that a couple years later you're going to have to move or want to move when you find out other factors of the property. So it's always wise to plan ahead, and this is not a mistake on our part, but it is just a way that we've changed tracks. We're not doing the pigs right now, and so we're going to use this area for something different. Follow along with us if you would. We decided to dismantle most of this former pig pen area. It's not being used for pigs now, and we don't expect to use it in the near future. So we're going to take out these T-posts and the hog panels and the electrical wire and all the other things that are here, and open up this space so that from the chicken pens on, we can have access to this back portion of our property. Don't know if you can see the fence post there. That is the edge of our property. But we would have access to this pine tree area. Some of these T-posts pretty secure on the ground there, but they're coming up. Well, looks like, as far as we know, we've loosened everything up all the way around. So we should be able to pull out the rest of these panels and have this place accessible now to the tractor or to whatever else we decide to do with it. Kevin's got something over here. Maybe that T-post is in its way. So some of these T-posts seem to have gotten connected to roots or something, and so they do not want to come out of the ground very easily.
Well, got some more stuff out here to do. We've started taking down this old pig pen here, and I need to get these T-posts out of the ground, this one and the one over next to it. I think that the roots have grown around or through or something on these, and I can't get them out. I have a little tool that I can use on the tractor that hooks onto the bucket, and then it hooks around this with a chain, and you just lift it and it pulls it right out of the ground. And I was going to show you how that works, but I can't get in here in this area with the tractor. There's not enough room to get through the one area that we've got to get through here. The tractor just won't fit. So I'm gonna have to probably try to dig this up with the shovel, I guess, and see if I can get this out of here. Anyway, so this is plan B for what I was going to do on this. We've got most of this out already. Carol and I came out here the other day and worked on this and was able to take most of this pen down, and then I came out and was getting some more of it out. Got as far as I could just by pulling these things out of the ground. But once I got to these two posts, they're in there pretty good. So I'm just having to see if I can get them out just by digging them up. And there's one. Okay, so that worked. Yeah, one down and one more to go, I think. Unless I find another one that won't come up. We're gonna try to finish up this area right here. We only had just a few feet from where I left off to get to the fence on the side of our property. So Carol's working on that now. And there's a lot of these really high weeds in here, these clumps of grass. And so it takes a little bit to get them cut down, but it works. See, just beyond her where that post is right there, that's the side of our property. That's where it stops. So we're going to try to get as much of this cleared out as we can. Looking pretty good.
Thanks for watching along today. I hope that this is helpful to you, maybe gave you a couple of ideas of things that you need to think of in advance, or maybe some slight modifications that you could make on your property that would give you better use of the land or better future forward-looking use of your land. So anyway, glad you were here. Please subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up or a like. Send us some comments. And